Hello, everyone, and welcome back to another beautiful special episode of Hot Koko, episode 6, I believe it is. And I'm excited. I'm always excited, but today is going to be a good one. I've been getting a lot of good feedback from people and just hearing your guys' insights, so it's really cool. So thank you all for that. Just a little overview. Let's get into what we're going to talk about. We are going to talk about TikTok, of course, because I know a lot of you guys that listen to the podcast have been coming from my TikTok page, which is kind of cool. And I feel like I haven't really talked about it that much. We're going to talk about some body confidence, some things I've been posting, and I haven't really done a full episode on that, so we're going to kind of get down and dirty in the good way. We're going to talk about a self-love journey that I've been going through and just, some people I've talked to, which has really opened my view on things. And we're going to talk about surfing because this is the first week that they opened the beaches for California since COVID came out, and surfing is legal. And today, actually, they opened Carlsbad beaches. So last week it was only Encinitas and Oceanside, in my town at least, that were open. So we're going to talk about that. It's going to be really exciting. We're going to talk about most of the TikTok stuff towards the end. I want to go through a, weekly, what happened last week. We had a lot go down, so we're going to talk about it. So let's get into it, you guys. I'm so stoked. So basically, last week of April was last week, and I'm going to just pretty much go day by day. I wrote down everything that happened pretty much that I can remember, at least. I think I'm just going to start doing this every episode, just talk about my week and then talk about other stuff. If there's nothing in a week, obviously, we can change that. But I also want to know your guys' feedback. Do you guys like the episodes on Friday, or do you like them on Monday better? I don't know. I feel like if I did them on Friday, you get that picture of Monday through Friday of what happened, but you do get the weekend if we wait until Monday to upload. So I feel like Monday could be a good day because today's Monday. I'm already behind. It is May 4th, so May the 4th be with you if you're into that. But yes, okay, so last week, you guys, was crazy. So basically, Sunday of last week, I was with Camden. What's up, Cam? And she and I knew that the beaches were opening the next day, and we were getting geared up. So I went over to her place, and mind you guys, I know that I'm going to get probably attacked for hanging out with friends and stuff during this time of Corona, but I just want to put that out there in the open. It's my decision, it's my opinion, on what the situation is. I've also been stuck and locked in the house all of April, and I know everyone has been longer, but I've been so good about it that my parents are letting me go out and stuff. And I'm not going out crazy. I mean, I'm just surfing now, and I get to see Camden and, a couple of our other friends, but that's who I've mostly been around Camden for weeks at this point. And if any of us, if we've been exposed, it would be, we would have it by now because we've been together for so long. So whatever. Anyway, I just don't want to get fully attacked for that because I've been getting attacked in some of my TikToks, but that's okay. I support it. I would be yelling at me too, but it's okay. So anyway, so Sunday, that was my first time I was actually allowed out of the house and allowed to go to someone else's house. So we went to Camden's and we stripped her surfboards, got ready to go. I already did mine right before the beaches got shut down, so I was pretty bummed about that. So they've just been sitting in my garage, ready to go for a month. So I was good to go. So I helped her do hers, and we were just psyching. We were just so excited. Monday was crazy. Monday was the first day we were allowed to surf, and we knew that Encinitas and Oceanside were open. That's all we read. We checked every article, and that's all that was on there. And, we had no insight of what beaches were open. We weren't sure if state parks were open. We weren't sure what place to go. So I have leftover walkie-talkies that I bought before quarantine because our neighborhood used them. And I was like, Cam and I met at, if you know my area, by Ponto Beach and off by Lucadia Donuts. And then we just met and we checked D Street first. And so I gave her walkie-talkie and we went up and the stairs were blocked off and there was a cop standing there. And we were like, okay. So we walk up to the cop and someone's yelling at him. And I felt so bad because, what are they going to do? You're going to yell at this cop and tell them that you need to open the staircase because we can't, I don't know. We didn't know what was going on. So this guy was just yelling and we were like, okay. And he was like, yeah, you can only go to Moonlight Beach and walk from there. And then you have to walk to any of the other surf spots. And if you don't know my area, it's kind of hard to picture it. But Moonlight is this huge beach and it's just a horrible surf spot. First of all, Moonlight is just not a good spot to go to. I think I've only surfed Moonlight like once or twice in my like whole life. So I was like, okay, like we have to go to Moonlight. But what we did was we went to Moonlight, and then that was when we ran into a couple of our other friends, and we didn't like plan on meeting them. They were just there, and we basically said like, what's up? They told us what was going on, and we were like checking out the surf, and there was so many people out in the water. We were like, oh my gosh. And we were thinking like, is it even worth it to go? It's not even that good. But it was already like 11 o'clock at this point. Like we've been driving around trying to figure stuff out, like asking people for like an hour at this point. And I was just sweating, and I was like, I just need to get in the water. Like, it's been a month. I just need to go. So we ended up going, and we got out there, and we had to park super far away because all the parking lots are closed. And I know this kind of sounds like first world problems at this point, but honestly, like, this is just my experience and what happened. And I know Camden and I are like on the same page. And we parked super far, walked to Moonlight, and then we walked down the left. I think we went down south, and we went towards like D Street. And I was just so scared. Like, I usually don't get super scared in a lineup, but there was a bunch, like to my left, there was Groms. In the front of me, there was a bunch of old guys like staring at Camden and I because we're the only girls out there. And to the right, there was all these like super, super attractive guys, but you know, they all had wave storms and foamies and just wanted to like mess around, and it was just kind of frustrating, like a lot of kooks out there. So it just felt like everyone and their mother wanted to surf, which is totally fine. I'm all for it and stuff. It was just like overwhelming. I caught like maybe one wave and was just like, I just need to get out. So we got out, and it was just crazy. So then we ended up, I think, splitting at that point for a little bit, and then we ended up surfing Oceanside that night. And Oceanside, I have never seen a more prettier session in my life. The waves were like perfectly barreling, and it was just pretty. I really wish I was filming, but I was surfing, and just ran into a lot of people, which was really cool. It was like nice to like talk to someone and see old faces after not seeing anyone for a while. So I was just like super grateful just to be out in the water, even though like once again I caught like 0 waves because it's a bunch of the lineup in Oceanside is way different than the lineup in Encinitas. It's not usually like this. I feel like I've surfed Oceanside multiple times and I've never been in a lineup like this, but we surfed the harbor on the north side, and yeah, it was just kind of scary. If you guys know Jordy Collins, he was like throwing airs, and I'm just like sitting like, what am I doing here? So basically how I put it was that whole day, Encinitas was too kookish and Oceanside was too pro. So I needed a good middle ground, and usually Carlsbad is that good middle ground for us. But Carlsbad is closed, but now it's open. So we'll get there. So that was Monday. Tuesday, we surfed doubles again. So I got up at, I think it was like 6:30 that day. I was literally running off adrenaline at this point. It was 6:30, so I was exhausted, and I got a yerba the day before because, on Monday was just crazy. Like, there was something going on all day. Like, my vlog's on TikTok, you go watch them. You can literally see every moment that what happened. So I had like a leftover yerba, so I cracked that open on Tuesday and just like chugged it. And we surfed Encinitas again, and it was way more mellow. I actually caught waves. The lineup wasn't scary. It was just so nice just to be out in the water, and we were with Mateo and Camden, I believe. And guys, when I go with these people, we drive our own cars. We're smart about everything. And, you know, we paddle, like, we're there to surf. We're not there to like socialize and, you know, all that jazz. I think a lot of people like look down on it, but California, like, especially my county or whatever, was the first to go on lockdown, so that's why like we're the first to start opening stuff up again. So I give it like another week and we'll kind of be at a level playing field. Now though, you have to wear masks here, so like or you get $1,000 fine. I don't know. So yeah, I just kind of surfed in the morning, and then I came home and did homework for a couple hours, and then we surfed again, and it was just like a good fun day. Wednesday, let's see. Wednesday was horrible, actually. So at this point, I wore a full suit on Tuesday. So if you guys have seen my full suit, it's like that pink curly one. And it's got a hole, like, huge. Like a hole like this big, if you can see, if you're watching the YouTube video. And it's just, like, chafed, basically, my leg. So I was at the point where I just had this huge red, like, massive hole on my leg, and it just hurt so bad. So I could barely walk, and I was like, no, like, it's fine. I can go surf again. Totally got it. So I just kind of like wrapped my leg on Wednesday night. Like, I spent most of the day, like, I just took a break because I was so exhausted. And we went night surfing because there's a bunch of like bioluminescence, right? And it's so beautiful to watch. Like, it was incredible. So we went and we night surfed, but we went to Oceanside Pier on the north side, and it was all lit up and beautiful, and every time you paddled you saw like blue. It was just insane. So if you've been surfing in it, like, you know what I'm talking about. If you've seen videos and stuff, if you're not from California, like, it's insane. Like, I'm super blessed to see that. But we went out there, and there was a full lineup of just groms, and I paddled out, and I knew a pretty good amount of people out in the lineup, and it was like not a big deal. There was just like a ton of people out, and it was just sketchy. I don't think I've seen Oceanside Pier that packed at night, like that late. It was like 10 o'clock. But yeah, so I mean, it was fine. It's just kind of funny because like I graduated high school, and it's a lot of these kids that I don't know that well, like haven't seen in a while. And they were like, oh, Colette, what's up? And I'm like, oh, hi. Like, it's just kind of funny. Anyway, it got so heated that there was this one wave, and I was right behind Camden, and these two boys, our friend Mateo actually, and I think another boy was on this one wave, and Mateo just like was just ready. He was going, and he got on this wave, and Camden was in front of him, and he was just coming straight for her. So I duck dove super deep down. I heard her yell, and then I just heard a loud like crash, and then I get up, and I'm like off my board at this point because I was like, I wasn't gonna make that. And we checked out her board, and there was just a fat chunk taken out of it, so we had to end the session early. Andrew Riojas was with me actually at this point, and we were just kind of paddling around, and we just wanted like one more wave. Like, we were in the perfect spot just to get a good wave, but like nothing was coming in, so we were just like waiting for one more. So we finally got one in like 10 minutes later, and I was like, oh, maybe she's waiting on the beach for us, but she ended up leaving. I would have dipped too, Camden. So we get off the beach at this point, and there's so many people on the beach just like standing and watching the waves and like grouping up, not social distancing. And for some reason that just made me so ticked off, like so ticked off. Like, if you follow my Snapchat, I blew up, and I definitely think I went too far. I was definitely like overreacting at that point, especially because I haven't been social distancing like the past 2 days, and I got like put in my place pretty quick that like if I'm going to be walking up and down the beach yelling at everyone, like I should be practicing what I preach almost. So that was a pretty big reality check for me. So I just kind of like took Wednesday night and just like tried to calm down. And then this is kind of when my week started to get a little rough. And I think it was just because I was so tired and like overworking myself from surfing, and like we haven't been doing anything for a month. So for me to do something every single day, like the second I wake up to the second I go to bed, which I still don't go to bed until 2 a.m, you guys, like that's just not okay. So it was fine. Thursday we surfed in the morning, and what we did was, oh, that was a pretty chill day. We longboarded that day, and we went to Oceanside again. We just were so sick of Encinitas. Like, we just did not want to go there. And it was just, we longboarded. It was nice. Then we got coffee at Vinaka after, which I have an addiction now. I've been going so much. But, yeah, we just got to see some old friends, which was kind of nice at the coffee shop. So definitely go there, guys. They're definitely a plug. They don't sponsor me. I really wish they did. But, yes. And so we got coffee. I'm trying to, like, read what we're doing. Oh yes. So this day was pretty heinous. I think I was pretty sunburned at this point and just tired. So I think I stayed in and like that night, and basically I got a text from Jordan, I believe, and he was night surfing, and we were just kind of texting back and forth, and I was having like kind of a rough day at this point, and he was like, just come watch us. So I went and watched him, and it was fine. Then we ended up going to In-N-Out, and once again, guys, trying to be safe. We were taking our own cars, all that jazz. So it doesn't seem like I'm just like hanging out with my friends. Like, I'm aware of the situation. Like, masks were on. Like, I get it. And we get there, and there's a guy on the ground, and he's getting CPR done to him. So the first thing Jordan does is say, like, do you need us to call 911? And this woman was on the ground just nodding yes. And so I called 911, but I chickened out, and I gave Jordan the phone. So Jordan did most of the talking, and he knows Oceanside way better than me, so he knew like the exact address of that In-N-Out and stuff like that. So he called 911, talked to them. And what I thought was really cool that I want to mention is the second that this happened and we saw the situation, Jordan and our other friends that were there just immediately started praying for this guy. And this was someone that we don't even know. That was, we didn't know the situation. We didn't know what was going on. And it was just really cool to see that. And we got to see God work definitely in that sense, because he wasn't breathing when we got there. And we left when the paramedics, got there and stuff, and we checked and he was breathing. And they just prayed, which was a really cool experience for me. And scary, but I'm definitely good under pressure. I know, I'm not gonna throw Camden under the bus, but I know Camden was a little stressed, and I mean, obviously it's a super stressful and scary situation. And at first I thought the guy wasn't doing chest compressions correctly, and I'm CPR certified, not to flex that, but I have to be for my job. And I almost stepped in. I just didn't think it was the right place. So it was just a crazy experience. So Thursday night was just kind of culture shocked. So then I ended up going to Oceanside Pier again. We got our food, then we hung out for a little bit and just kind of talked about the situation. And then I ended up going to Oceanside Pier until 3 in the morning, and no backstory on that. Friday, I just kind of vibed out and, regrounded this weekend. I had a bunch of homework to do. So that's pretty much the weekend. We are going to get into now basically the bridge. Today's Monday. Saturday and Sunday, I literally don't remember what I did. I think I just kind of hung out with family. Yesterday, though, I got pretty depressed and sad towards the end of the day, which is totally, totally fine. Everyone experiences that and everyone goes through it. And we're going to talk about what most of you guys, I think, want to listen to now, which is TikTok. And I just started TikTok. I've had a TikTok for a year now. But I just started actually posting what I thought was the content I wanted to preach and certain things like that. So I did kind of start, outing myself, putting bikini videos and picture, just stuff like that. If you follow my TikTok, you understand. And I just kind of wanted to practice what I preach. And I feel like I was so upset yesterday, literally so upset. And I posted a video about it. I said I was going to be real on TikTok. I promised myself that, because I feel like I'm not 100% real on Snapchat and Instagram. And I want to be 100% real on TikTok and on the podcast. This is what I am. This is who I am. I'm not going to hide the flaws that everyone else hides. That's the whole point of this podcast and just everything I'm doing. And it sucks and it's hard. So I get to that point sometimes where I get so upset. So I posted that on my TikTok and I was overwhelmed, you guys. I got probably 70 comments just on that TikTok, probably 20 DMs just in that day. And you guys just blew me away. I was literally crying last night about all this, and I just feel so loved and supported by such a community, and it's just insane. I was just so excited. I feel so unloved, doing some stuff I do here, and then to see you guys supporting me, I don't know, it was just really cool. I'm kind of on cloud 9 about it still. So yeah, thank you guys for all your support and stuff. So now we're going to get into, the fun stuff. So speaking of TikTok and stuff, I've only upped my, videos and just everything that I've been doing the past couple weeks. And it seems like it's working for you guys. Obviously a lot of us are shut in and stuck on our phones and literally just going on TikTok all the time. I felt like I have something to say about, the situations that are happening. And obviously I have a podcast and stuff. And I think I'm becoming, especially in quarantine, I think quarantine, honestly, to put this very frankly, I feel like a lot of people think it's the worst thing. For me personally, I feel like that whole month in April was probably the best thing that could have happened to me. I was definitely going through some awakening and got a lot of the toxic people out of my life, and I've lost a lot of friends, I feel in the past couple weeks, and I think a lot of it has to do with my last episode, which I do apologize for. There's a lot of people I felt like I hurt in that episode, but I just want to be straight up, you guys. This is who I am. This is my podcast. I'm not hiding anything, and I'm here to be real, and that's what I'm going to do. I am going to try to stop saying names and name dropping. That was not cool on my part, but I can talk about certain experiences that I go through, and post it. It's my life. I'm allowed to do it. This is the Hot Koko podcast. I don't lie on here. So that's when I started having an awakening, losing a lot of people in my life, but And this is all within like a month, which is absolutely crazy. Like not even like, honestly, this all happened in like a week. But then I did realize that the people that do support me and love me are in my life for a reason. And, you know, God put them there for a reason. So I need to keep pushing. So that's kind of when I started posting a lot more and just, you know, doing all that. A lot of you guys have DM'd me and come out and said that I'm helping you in your confidence journey and just like your body confidence journey, which makes me so happy. Because honestly, like, if I'm helping one person, I don't care what I'm doing. If I get to help one person, that's fine. So I just like the support is insane. It's incredible. I don't want to bring up certain stories that people tell me, but I do want to say if you listen to this and you need help or support or just someone to talk to, like my DMs are always open. I would say you can Snapchat me too, but I think I'm going to delete Snapchat. But yeah, like my TikTok DMs, Instagram DMs and stuff are open. So now we're going to talk about my self-love journey. You guys hype me up, I swear. So it's been a rough road and it's still like happening for sure. I don't think I'm fully at the point where I want to be. In April, I worked out a ton at the beginning of quarantine because obviously I surf a lot, I swim coach, so I'm in the water sometimes. I was at the gym all the time before this. Like I was on a self-love journey. I've been on a self-love journey probably since December, January, January, you know what I mean? And I've been trying to work on myself. Like I love my body and I love how I look, but I just think it could be to a place where I want it to be where I'm like 100% content with it. So I started working on myself and realizing that. And then like obviously quarantine happened. So a couple months of progress, I felt like I didn't want it to go completely out the window. So I had to work out at my house and, you know, do at-home workouts because they shut down surfing. And I was in a really good headspace. Like I was doing great, killing the game, honestly. And I was like, why shouldn't I bring that positivity to like my Instagram and to TikTok and stuff? I also think that a lot of you guys see the upside of things a lot of times, and you guys get to see a lot of like the positive mentality of my like self-love journey. There's so much negative to it, let me tell you, because a lot of you reach out and say like, I don't feel it, I don't understand how you do it. There's those days when I literally can't get out of bed because I just don't want to look at myself or something like that. And it's hard. It's so hard. Like, trust me. There was so many days when I was like that. And what definitely got me in April was I would post something on Instagram and everyone would send it to each other. And I know that it was all kids from my hometown that, you know, were making fun of me. And you have to separate that line between kids are making fun of me. Am I going to stop or am I going to push through and keep going? And I decided to keep going for, you know, a couple weeks. And obviously things turned out because I have a lot more people that support the podcast and stuff like that. But I'm not joking, you guys, when I say that I still, like literally this weekend is a perfect example of it. This weekend I was so down and today I'm great. Today I'm fine. So I think you have to pick your battles and decide on how much energy you want to spend on certain things. So obviously I spent kind of a ridiculous amount of energy on the fact that everyone was sending my stuff to everyone on Instagram. And I just got to a point where I said, you know what? Like, let them talk. What I post is what I post. And if people don't like that, there's a reason for an unfollow and follow button. They have that decision to follow me. And they also can choose to have that decision to send my stuff out and, you know, bully me in their group chats or say whatever to their friends. And I'm guilty of it. I've done it 100%, like 100%. I still kind of do it, like send stuff on TikTok to friends like that I think is funny. But, you know, if that person individually knew that I was doing that and saying that stuff to them, like I would not be okay with it because it happens to me. I think I definitely have a little bit of like a thicker skin in that sense too, that now I'm kind of okay with it. I think the old Colette or like the high school Colette would try to find out who's saying stuff about me, what they're saying, and try to fix that. Now I'm just like unapologetically myself. And I don't care what people say about me because I know what I'm doing is making a difference. Even if it's for one person, like that's my biggest thing is if I'm making a difference for one person or helping someone, then fine, I'm doing it. Plus this podcast I love so much. Like I don't think anyone can talk this long as me for a full episode. So kind of crazy. So yeah, that's where I'm at kind of on the self-love journey. It's hard. I'm still going through it. I am still kind of like working out in the gym. Well, not in the gym, but in my house and stuff. And surfing helps me too. But I just do what I love. And it's like one thing, I know people don't want to hear this too. People ask me like, how do you get so confident, or how do you not feel like crap, honestly? Sometimes you just got to look in the mirror and just be like, what do you want to fix? And that's like a hard statement to say. But if you really look at yourself and you go, what do you want to fix? Whether that's internal, external, internally, it's harder to fix mental, things. And it takes a lot more time, in my opinion, than the physical stuff. The physical stuff, I could start right now and start doing push-ups and like maybe not see a difference right away. But if I did it for 5 weeks, I might. So that's where I kind of was at in my self-love journey. I looked in the mirror and was just not happy with what I wanted in my personality and in my physical appearance. So I started to change that. And the moment that I started to record and post on TikTok and explain what I was doing, that's when things kind of started getting traction and people liked that. And I like that because it's me and it's who I am. And this is just what we're doing, basically. And it's hard for people to hear that if you look at yourself and you want to change something, don't let anyone stop you from changing that. Don't let someone say like you're beautiful, but you don't feel it. You need to feel it like in yourself, and you need to realize that you want to change something and then go do it. And it's going to be hard. You might need a support. That's why I'm here. That's why I'm helping you guys like talk about this openly and saying like it's going to get rough. I'm not going to lie. It's going to be hard. And it's still hard for me for sure. And it's still hard for me to post stuff on Instagram and go live like right now and do the podcast and know that I have like people watching me. I seriously feel like I live in a fishbowl sometimes. And I remember hearing this in 6th grade. Someone said, or not 6th grade, freshman year. I believe it was Matt Mizell from my old church. He said, you're constantly swimming in a fishbowl and everyone's looking at you, no matter where you are. You can be in public, you can be on social media. So I feel like I'm as open on social media and on Instagram, TikTok, stuff like that. Like you can take it or leave it. And a lot of people are going to leave it. And that's totally fine. But for the people that do take it, I'm glad you're here. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at. That was pretty deep. But I've had a lot of changes, I feel like, in the past couple weeks, and I feel like I have a changing audience now. I don't think that everyone from my podcast episode, or that listens to my podcast now. Hang on, I'm having an audio glitch. Sorry guys, technical issues, but we're back. So what I'm saying is my audience is changing, definitely, I think, for YouTube and for the podcast and stuff like that. So it's different. It's different. It's weird having people like that say they listen to the podcast that aren't from my town. And to feel that, it kind of, helps me want to talk about more and help you guys out a little bit more. So that's why I'm so excited for this. And it feels like just the beginning and things are looking up. And even though I don't have like a full support system, like here, I know that, in Carlsbad is what I meant. I know that I have you guys on TikTok and Instagram and all that jazz. So yeah, we don't really have any questions this week. I didn't ask anyone. I just kind of wanted to put out on the table my experiences and stuff, kind of make this like a short and sweet episode. I do have like a photo thing to go to in about 10 minutes. So I just wanted to kind of give you guys some insight on that. And I am live on my Instagram, and I do want to read what some of you guys said. But I'm not going to. I'll read them after. I'll read them on the live. So I just want to give a couple announcements before we go. So on YouTube, I'm going to start uploading more videos and stuff like that. I feel like I've gotten a lot of requests for those, so we will be doing that too. I still need a podcast intro if anyone's talented and wants to do that, or the cover art. We did get a new cover art on there from JJ Meeser, so thank you, JJ, for that. Super stoked. But yeah, we have some exciting things coming up in the next couple weeks, and I love your guys' feedback. So please don't be scared to DM me on Instagram, or just like, hit me up any way you want. And I might take a couple of days to respond, but I promise I literally read every single comment you guys say and try to respond to everything. But yeah, I appreciate all of the love. So go check out the YouTube, go check out the TikTok if you don't know what it is. I'm not gonna lie, you guys, kind of scared to put it in my Instagram bio, just because I know everyone from my high school is just gonna like talk crap. But I also like shouldn't care. But then again, guys, this is where I'm real. This is the feelings I feel, there's only so much I can put myself out there for. And yeah, slightly hard. So we'll get there eventually maybe, but for now I'm kind of just good with keeping my Carlsbad life kind of separate and kind of connected to my TikTok life. Maybe one day. But yeah, so that's all we have time for today. Thank you guys for listening. We're going to be back next week. Who knows what's going to happen this week? I feel like there's something every single week. But yeah, let me know what you guys want to hear. And I love you all. Have a great day. Bye, everyone.